On this week's episode of Talking Townball, we continue down the road of predictions. Today's stop, Class B. Home to juggernauts such as the Delano Athletics, the Nisswa Lightning, and the Buffalo Bulldogs? Huh? What? Come again? Our guest this week fits our episode theme like a snug new pair of bifocals. Doc Nagel, state board member and manager of the Class B Bird Island Bullfrogs, joins us to talk shop. So grab yourself a bowl of chili, pair it with a glass of sarsaparilla. It's time to talk Townball.
And we are here to talk some Townball. Today's date, Tuesday, April 14th. This episode brought to you by our good friends at Rambo, Max Bat, and Brian Rock.
Round of applause to those great sponsors.
Absolutely. We are 4 days from what looks like official opening day. I think Jordan's looking at the games coming up. You got them right in front of you.
I think the Roscoe Rangers are already taken in and out. No, we got Roscoe and the Cold Spring Rockies. We've got Spring Hill and Lake Henry. Two league games, I believe. I'm pretty sure they are 2 league games. And, that's 4 days from now. It's coming up.
I was going to say, too, I'll reference the interview. We'll reference it a lot. Doc Nagel joins us later in the show, but he mentions his field prep this week was accompanied by flurries. So yeah. I know that there's a good chance if you're going and playing ball in mid-April, you're gambling a little bit.
Bundle up.
You might get an 80-degree day. Yep. You might get a 30-degree day. It is a true gamble.
Little pro tip, you can always take layers off. You can't always add layers if you don't bring them. So
like when you show up in your sleeveless tee, like you normally do,
like I normally do, yeah.
you might opt for a long sleeve.
Yeah, I would go. Okay, so I know that you're not a Yankees guy, but I think the coolest look ever is the Yankee road grays, and like Bernie Williams is wearing a mock turtleneck underneath.
Yeah,
break out the mock. Let's go.
Break out the mock. I like that.
So funny you bring that up because high school baseball is underway, which is a great thing. We're there, like we're at the finish line of the off season. So
starting line of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you got it.
My Tigers are undefeated.
Wow.
So yeah, already won a couple games, no big deal. But I did was on at the ballpark the other day for they played De La Salle, and funny, the home uniforms are Yankee pinstripe, white with the pinstripes, and I grabbed the kid who was playing shortstop, and I'm like, this is just you have such a clean look. He had the Under Armour mock turtleneck,
hell yeah,
cold gear. And I'm just like, he had it. I'm like,
he nailed it.
He nailed it.
Yeah,
you nailed it. And so funny you should, bring that up. But yeah, high school baseball's underway. You mind if I go on a tangent for a second?
Give us your tangents.
Since it is high school baseball season, we do have to give a round of applause, a tip of the cap, whatever, to all high school baseball coaches. I was thinking about this on my long drive out to the studio way out west. They deal with so much in such a short time. You have spring break always lands in the first couple weeks of your season.
Always.
We have arm care week now because we don't want people hurting their arms. But then you throw a week off, which is actually 9 days off from throwing a baseball because people have to go out of town, even though I did. I don't have a high school baseball player, though, in my house. Like, there's negative things that come from that. So, and then the weather starts getting nice, and then we got to go to prom. And you're always hoping for a really nice day on prom. But I remember, like, we could have just had a baseball game today instead of going to the Radisson or the gymnasium or wherever you have your prom.
Correct, yeah.
Delano has their big salt drive this weekend, and that's something you got to do. You got to do the fundraising, but you're always like, well, we hope it's nice weather, but you don't want it to be too nice where you could have had a baseball game Friday and Saturday, and then there's, you have graduation, and if you ever get on the inside with like a section commissioner, a guy who's in charge or gal in charge of a high school section tournament, they'll put the bracket together, and there's always like another page in the Google sheet that has all the days of when the schools have graduation. So then you deal with that when you get into playoffs. Oh, you have Memorial Day weekend in there as well. So you have fishing opener, which is a made-up thing because people are still fishing right now this second. So, yeah, you fishermen, that's a made-up holiday. I know.
Called out.
I know.
We're a podcast of many things. I guess we're not a fishing podcast. It's official.
That's something you can fool your wives with, but you ain't going to fool the baseball guy.
No, I mean every sport, especially like
not every sport.
Well, no,
baseball.
no. The winters, like the winter high school season seems like it is a year long, and then you get to the spring seasons, and it's like, how are we going to fit this all in?
And you're gonna practice in the gym, and then maybe you have a batting cage in the wrestling room, and then you can maybe get out on this field, but you can't get on that field, and then you go back inside for 2 more weeks. And then you have boys and they're horny and they're graduating and it's just, and summertime's coming. So like, you can edit that out. But that's what it is.
We always keep that in.
No, because I just, remember kind of jumping back in last year and we had first year head coach. I'm like, this is what you're going to see. They're not going to love the game of baseball like we love the game of baseball. So just get over it right now. So
I sometimes I like to think about like some of the like, individually, what was I as like a junior and senior in high school, and what was important to me back then, and it doesn't align with the varsity coach. Everything does not align with what they hope is priority number one, and so it is a lot. When you've got a Townball team, you got a whole nother month. You got the field gets better, everything greens up, and people they have their you get your 18 to 40-year-old guys, and they've got their routine. And high school, I can't imagine, like you said, I mean, back in my day we had like a senior skip day, and that absolutely threw it was right before a playoff game, and it threw our team into just
and you're not thinking
tumble.
About you're like, well, we got to get out. We're getting together at the lake and
focus on the lefty we're gonna face in 5 days, or should I worry about where we're gonna have our campsite for this thing. It's crazy to think about, like you said, Hayes, all the things like a high school coach has to deal with. They don't get as much credit as they should, and it's just it's a tough season. Spring is just, there's so many variables, and weather being kind of the number one, and you just have to roll with the punches. It's you gotta have thick skin. You really do.
Well, since we're gonna roll with the punches. Do you guys want to talk Class B? We talked Class A last time, or do you have anything else to get off your chest before we jump into B?
No, and I think our predictions for A was a good time. We were off the cuff. We didn't have like a real set decision made up until the moment we made the decision. So we're going to kind of go along that same line.
We feel like we work best under pressure and just bringing it right up to the minute.
Right.
That's going to give us our best, true guess.
True guesses. But then again, it's like Class A. It's like going to a test you haven't really studied for.
And you just fill in
We're
C.
just like, it's pretty easy to just kind of fill in some of the dots,
Right.
At least with Class B, we've got some pretty good insight, right? I mean, it's not just from watching a state tournament, but we've played a lot of these teams. We see high-level talent in Class B. Mm-hmm. We saw, Delano take it down last year, former North Star League team playing with us, and we know that the Class B, once again, I'm gonna reference the Doc Nagel interview, but he describes Class B as the You're gonna love this. The most difficult tournament in the United States.
in the country.
So get ready for that quote. It hit us pretty hard. And he said, I'm not pulling your leg. This is legitimate. It is an absolute minefield. You know, it's a lot of good, talented teams, and there's a lot of strong fan backing. All these towns bring a really strong group of support. So it's fun to just look into it. I think we get rolling. You know, Jordan and I, we're Class C guys, and Hayes being the guy that he is, I think he's just going to be the one nitpicking today.
He's gonna, you know, we're gonna give our points here. He's gonna tear them apart as he should. And
you guys are
we go
Corey
from there.
Provost, and I'll be the Dazzle Man, Danny. Gold.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown with Ryan Hayes, because he's got his championship belt over there, and I mean, ultimately, we're just two Class C guys talking about Class B.
You guys are
just two
sickening.
schlubs over here talking about whatever.
So, I mean, if we want to start, I'm all for it. We can kind of just...
I'll roll
you
right
wanna
into
roll?
it.
You want to roll?
So, as a reminder, they all have different names, but Class B is districts. And District 1 has 9 teams, and the commissioner of District 1 is actually our guy Jeff out in Sartell. These 9 teams include Chisago Lakes, Princeton, Isani, North Branch, the Sartell Stone Ponies, Cold Spring Springers, St. Joseph, Sauk Rapids, and the Moose Lake Buzz. So those are the 9 teams that I have listed here as District 1. They get 3 bids. And just to give you a little background, teams in this district that made the state tournament for Class B last year, Cold Spring and Princeton. So
Yep, Hinckley was the other team. Hinckley is now in Class
now
A.
they're
A. Elevated.
Yeah, I was
So-
just to be transparent about it. I was doing some research on this and going through the bracket for Class B, and I'm like, I'm missing this. Like, where are they? And then I remembered, like, oh yeah, Hinckley's A now. New Ulm's not in this anymore. Oh, there's teams that have dropped to
Yeah.
C. So like,
It's moving.
it was a little difficult to keep track of, but
It's like a living, breathing spreadsheet here. You've got teams that can move anytime. Is there any new teams to this district? I mean, maybe that's a tough question. I don't know. Like, did they keep their same amount of bids?
I think that a lot of these districts are similar to what they were last year. I know that a few of them have added maybe a team. I know that there's one team out there, and we'll talk about that maybe briefly, but well, I'll just bring it up now. The Janesville Gators, formerly North Mankato, they don't have a district yet, and I'm not entirely sure why. I thought I maybe had read something one time on the NBA website about it. It kind of depends on where they're playing, and that's where they're going to be placed.
We'll put them in one tonight.
Yeah,
But
we
we'll
can
put them
stick
in.
'em
We'll put them in District 1 tonight.
Here's
No,
another.
There's another district that might need a team.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it.
So I'll say this: when you look at just the total amount of teams in B, we saw more teams probably leave B and go down to C, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the total amount of teams for B last year, Hayes? Was it 60 plus?
63,
Yeah.
64.
And it's
So-
it's down to 58
Down to 58.
now.
So a total of 5 teams have kind of brought themselves. I would assume more so. You mentioned the one team that went to A is
Hinckley.
Well, and New Ulm, right?
and New Ulm.
Oh, New Ulm, yeah.
So
yeah.
I think it was 2 went to A, 3 went to C.
I mean, do you think it was only that? Because
Maybe. I don't know. There could have been other teams that.
right in our
folded
region alone, we see the Rockies, we see the Clippers, we see the Diamond Devils. That's 3 just in our
Oh yeah. Well,
Just in
then
our
then
region.
teams got bumped up too.
right.
We got to
so
account for that.
There's movement. There is movement, but there are less teams this year around in B. So we've got to make a decision.
I think looking at District 1, and I know they went last year because they go every year, it would be hard to not pick the Cold Spring Springers, I feel like, for one of these 3 bids. They're in it every year. It's that core of guys that have been there forever, and I know the roster changes a little bit here and there each year, but they've got history on their side. They're a solid squad. They're always in it. I would pick them as one of our 3 bids.
It's a no doubter there. I think that's your your no doubt pick of the district. I mean, after Cold Spring, does it get a little bit more interesting? Yeah, maybe. But then again, I would say if this is a similar district, you just have to probably go with Princeton again, and that leaves one more spot. I mean, Jordan, is anything jump out to you? Do you know anything? I mean, is there anything that
So Isanti has, I think his first name's Phil, last name's Bray. He won a couple of games for Cold Spring last year, and Isanti's always been a tough team out of that district. Same thing with St. Joe's. But yeah, I like the Princeton. Princeton, they beat Plato last year in state. Then they lost to New Ulm in 18 innings.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
they're a
right
good team
again. So yeah, I like that. But your other two you'd probably look at are Isanti, St. Joe's. I don't know what Sauk Rapids will bring necessarily. I just know that's a solid area for baseball.
Always
the Stone Ponies, and it's always like we hear about teams all the time where it's like, well, if this college guy is playing with us, or so and so is here this year, it's like the Stone Ponies. I know they have a kid with Wake Forest, right?
Yeah.
So like if he's there, obviously difference maker.
Here's the thing,
but like. He's probably gonna be playing in the collegiate league.
The more times your team is maybe sharing a highlight or a home run or something of this nature of a player on a D1 team, probably the lesser the chance you're gonna see him anytime soon.
And that's not a bad thing either.
A bad thing.
You shouldn't see that as a bad thing.
No.
It's like, oh, cool, this guy
kid is
from
thriving.
your team is making it happen elsewhere. Like that's sweet. You always want to see your guys have success.
100%.
I mean, if it comes down to a third pick, I mean, I don't know. I like Isanti. They've been in it before. They have a solid team. I'd go with them with my third pick.
I like Isanti. I'm gonna join you on that. We've got our three teams out of District 1, Cold Spring Springers, Princeton Panthers, and the Isanti Redbirds. On to District 2.
District 2, we've got 9 teams again. They only get 2 bids, however, instead of the 3. We have the Rochester Roadrunners, Austin Greyhounds, Winona Chiefs, Stewartville Racine Sharks, the Austin Blue Jays, the Dodge County Diamondbacks, the Plainview Bucks, the Red Wing Aces, and the Northfield Knights. And those last 2 teams, Red Wing and Northfield, they made the state tournament in B last year.
And remind me again to what league does Red Wing and Northfield come out of?
Classic Cannon Valley.
Classic Cannon Valley. So that's your Cannon Falls. That's your Red Wing. That's that
Meesville Dundas.
It is just an absolute powerhouse of baseball.
And I think the rest of them, I want to say that's the Twin Rivers League.
Sure, Twin Rivers. So. Not a ton of representation from the Twin Rivers last year, but once again, it's just there's such good baseball. Red Wing and Northfield, obviously, I mean, Red Wing has been killing it for a while.
Yeah.
They've got some really good players. A fun ballpark. I don't know a ton about Northfield. I just assume you've got a lot of college ball in town. You've got a lot of young players that are probably sticking around that area. It's going to be tough to not pick the same 2.
Yeah,
if you're going to say this, is there a team out of that group that we left out that maybe could make a push? Of course.
Like Austin has historically had good baseball. I don't know a ton about the 2 current teams, like the current Greyhounds and Blue Jays. But I know that they have had good baseball historically. Same with like the Winona area. I just don't know enough about a lot of these teams.
I'll say this.
And I'd feel bad just defaulting to the 2 that made it last year, but also that's probably the right call. I
will say that my little tidbit of trivia, Dodge County, if you know Dodge County at all, that's Cass and Manorville, home of one of my players, Joey Hyde. Yeah. He's from that Cass and Manorville area. But Dodge County, the only county in Minnesota without a lake.
Oh.
Did you guys know this?
Nope. I can't trust that.
Then you can't. I just can't trust it. No. So that's your your Dodge County trivia of the night right there. So
no lakes, but they have a baseball field.
They have a baseball team, and we're not going to pick them right now, but we want to see them prove us otherwise, of course. So we've got the Red Wing Aces and the Northfield Knights coming out of District 2. On to District 3.
District 3 has 10 teams. They get 4 bids. A lot of these teams, you'll recognize the names from just previous recent state tournaments. We have the Webster Sox, the Shakopee Coyotes, Union Hill Bulldogs, Montgomery Mallards, Lonsdale Aces, St. Benedict Saints, that is America's team, Prior Lake Mudcats, Jordan Brewers, LeSueur Braves, and the Eagle Lake Expos. 4 teams from this district went to the state tournament last year, and that was Webster, Union Hill, Prior Lake, and Jordan. They get 4 bids. This is 2 different leagues that make this district up. What are the 2 leagues? Ryan, you're the guy.
This would be the DRS and the River Valley League.
Yeah, so we'll say, too, is LeSueur Braves, they made a push. So that was Class C.
So the
correct.
So technically they're
5.
Yeah,
5.
I should have prefaced by
good.
saying I'm listing the teams that made the B state tournament last year. But yeah, like
LeSueur
makes a
way more interesting.
yeah.
I mean, I loved LeSueur going into the C bracket last year, and I just think if you're a high-level C team, you can compete with a lot of these B teams
Well,
in
we've
your
seen
district.
it. We've seen it recently. I mean, a lot of the C team, like Delano. When did you get pushed to B?
What do you mean push to be?
20.
Or when did you decide to go to B?
Well, that was just
What do you mean go to be?
last year.
Last year was the first year you were B, right?
100%.
Oh, yeah, because that's when they went back to 3 classes.
Oh yeah, I suppose. My point is,
Get to the point.
You've been B for 1 year and then won it. So what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, just because you were a Class C team a year prior to that doesn't mean you can't make a push in B now.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying, but also we played against all teams that were Class C the year before as
Right.
well. It was just
Well, and so did LeSueur.
But it's tough to compare. Yeah, LeSueur being that Class C team when it got reclassified, they were a Class C. When it got reclassified, Delano was the B. So yeah, I get what you're saying. But I think if you're super successful, I think we can all agree with this. If you're super successful with the Class C side of things, you can absolutely compete at the next level. It's just gonna be more of a grind for them for sure.
Yeah.
So we've got to pick 4. We got to pick 4 of these guys. And I mean, is the one that kind of jumps out? I mean, Jordan, the team that you're just always going to put your money on.
So last year, when Maple Lake made the state tournament, they sent out a tweet that said, "Death, taxes, and the Maple Lake Lakers going to the state." I feel the same way about Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan is just a perennial, team that I don't remember a time where Jordan wasn't a good baseball team. I mean,
No, they've always
been
good.
great. So
How many in like the last 5 years or so? How many final weekends have they been to,
All
regardless
of
of
them?
class?
I think all of them.
Yeah. So I mean, it would be hard to not.
This is a blue blood here.
Yeah.
It's a blue blood. We're gonna take the number 1 seed to go to the Final Four, is what we're saying.
Yep.
So it's
Yeah.
a chalk pick. Beyond that, you mentioned the Webster Sox.
Wait, I lied.
Oh gosh.
Foley beat him in the second weekend last year.
All right, so
sorry,
maybe
Jordan.
we'll take away
You're
the.
good.
Then Jordan does not make state this year. No, just kidding. We're still going to pick them for that 1 bid there. We still have 3 teams we got to pick. You mentioned Webster Sox, the Union Hill Bulldogs,
And Prior Lake.
Prior Lake. Now, does anything change there? Do you think LeSueur can push? Do you think one of these other teams can make a push? I mean, you said you got America's team in your back pocket here.
Man, I love America's team. I do think. I mean, we saw some very convincing games from LeSueur on the seaside. I kind of want to pick them. Just
Well, CRVL, and it means a
they're
little bit. It just means more.
it just means more there.
And I want people to kind of understand that.
There's no CRVL teams.
Oh, did I mix this up?
No, but I was running with it too because I thought maybe
LeSueur, I was so set on LeSueur being a CRVL, but they're a what are they again?
So they are River Valley League. Now, last year,
Yeah.
the River Valley League C teams and the Crow River Valley League C teams were in the same
That's what I'm mixing
region.
Right.
LeSueur ran through it pretty good.
Because I remember
yes, I think they could.
I want to take them to take one of these bids. I think that it's kind of a hot hand deal. I mean, they've had recent success, and I think they're just going to do it again.
Perfect. I'm all for that. I apologize to our CRVL listeners. We'll probably talk again later when we talk District 7 though. So what do we got right now? We have
two of the
Jordan
four
and LeSueur. We're not, we definitely need to get one of, Prior Lake. Do we know a lot about Prior Lake?
I don't know a ton. I mean, they've got to be solid that they were in it last year.
I mean,
there's not like of the teams listed in District 3, who of like, so between Webster, Union Hill, Prior Lake, who made it furthest last year?
We'd have to dig into that, of course. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I mean,
I think with this being... you
guys keep going, but I don't think any of them won a game.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
they were maybe
it's not,
one and done.
with not, and this is our fault for not knowing enough, and maybe we need to get representation from one of these teams to come talk to us on the pod. But I think maybe just because we don't necessarily know enough specifics about certain teams here, maybe we just let it fly and pick two at random.
I like going kind of the old proven route. I mean, you said Prior Lake made it last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Was Union Hill another one that made it?
Yep.
And then Webster was the other. So, I mean, 2 out of 3, I think you take 2 out of those 3. I'm all for, looking at Prior Lake, not knowing a lot about them, just knowing that, Prior Lake, you have to be producing some skill down there. They've got a big pool to pick from. I'm going to pick Prior Lake. You get to pick, Jordan, the remaining team.
Between Union Hill and Webster, I'll pick between those two. And Sox is spelled with an X, and I think that's cool. So we're going to go Webster. Sox is going to be the 4th team.
Some guy 55 years ago when he made that name, he said someone's going to think that's a really cool name and maybe give us a bid in a prediction show, and he nailed it. So
it had to have been the thought behind it.
It had to have been. So Webster Sox, Prior Lake Mudcats, Jordan Brewers, and LeSueur Braves out of District 3. All right.
St. Benedict sends Jordan a T-shirt, and you just use it to check the oil in your car.
Yeah,
it's
an oil rig.
No, I wear the T-shirt all the time. I love America's team, as I've said.
Sounds like you hate America's team and you hate America.
Oh, okay.
What a statement! What a statement!
Yeah, no,
no.
I would love for America's team to be in the state tournament. I hope they are. And you know what? When St. Benedict is in the state tournament this year, I will be at every single game rooting for them. I know we're probably being like the general Townball podcast. We're probably supposed to stay semi-neutral. Not me. I'm going to be America's team. They're number one fan.
Jordan
patriotic.
Jordan will be there in the stands with his like Daisy Dukes and his whatever type of T-shirt. I'm just trying to imagine the type of T-shirt you'd be wearing. It probably has an eagle on it somehow.
It's I'm gonna have like a flaming eagle with an American flag. I'm gonna have probably two Marb Red Packs rolled in my sleeves because that's
easily.
America, baby.
And then probably two like Bud Diesels in your hand because that's just what they do.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
That's right. So maybe an honorable mention to the St. Benedict Saints there, but otherwise we've got the Webster Sox, the Prior Lake Mudcats, the Jordan Brewers, and the LeSueur Braves. On to District 4.
District 4 has 8 teams, 4 tourney bids. A lot of these teams you will have recognized from making it before as well. We've got Sobieski, the Skis. We've got the Nisswa Lightning, Fort Ripley Rebels, Avon Lakers, Buckman Billy Goats, St. Stephen Steves, the Piers Lakers, and the Foley Lumberjacks. Now, Nisswa and Foley made the B tournament last year, but...
And St. Stephen.
St. Stephen did too?
Yeah.
And so those 3 made the B tournament last year, but...
The St. Stephen team, remember this, I think that they were a pretty low seed. Didn't they just go on a tear? if you remember right. I think didn't they have like 7 home runs in a game or something?
That sounds right.
It just was a ridiculous. I just feel like their path to a state berth was a different one, and it was intriguing, and that's all I can think about when I think of the St. Stephen team. So there's just a lot of good baseball here. Obviously, you got Nisswa, who's been a final weekend team for years. I mean, that's not nothing's going to change there. You know, you're going to get the Nisswa Lightning as long as that veteran group sticks together. Who knows how many years that crew will stick around, but boy, they're going to be good until they hang up the cleats.
This district is, in my personal opinion, even if you took the 3 teams that made it to state plus Piers, who's defending C champions.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't even mentioned they're the C champs.
I still think that's super wide open because Sobieski didn't go last year. We don't have to talk about Sobieski. You all know about Sobieski. Yeah. Avon, until we reclassified the teams, Avon was going to state tournament for Class C and winning games every year. Same thing with Buckman. Buckman is a final weekend team multiple times in the last 5 to 6 years. Fort Ripley has always produced very solid teams. I don't think they've made quite the runs that the Sobieskis and the Buckmans have, but I mean, you look at this list, all those teams have made multiple state tournaments in the last 5 years. I still think it is wide open.
It's eight very solid baseball teams. Half of them are going to get in, and like you said, it is wide open. It's going to be very good baseball.
If you would have said going into last year, Sobieski, Avon, Buckman don't go to the state tournament, you'd have got laughed at.
You would have been laughed at. Yeah, 100%. So this is we're going to protest to the state board and say, District 4 out of the 8 teams, why don't we have 9 bids? There should be at least 9 bids for this group, because there is a lot of good talent there. It's the Victory League, right?
Correct.
What do they do? They win. They win, and boy, I just like the league games have to be thrilling up in the Victory, because that is just a heck of a list of good teams. Piers Lakers, a dominant Class C team. I like them. I like them a lot.
I do too.
I think that they're going to be good. There's just no way around it. How do you not pick?
Let's make our first 2 then.
Oh, yeah.
With, I think, Nisswa being in the title game for B last year.
Yeah, easy pick.
And Piers winning C last year. Those 2 are going to get 2 of the 4.
Yeah, it gets like an at-large bid, basically. They deserve that.
So now if you're a state board member listening, if LeSueur gets in and Piers gets in and they're not playing each other to open the tournament, you guys don't even go for re-election.
No.
Don't even go for re-election.
There's going to be a coup. There's going to be a coup if that is the case.
We're trying to manifest this right now. So
absolutely.
Let's make that happen if and when these 2 teams make it.
Mm-hmm. So, it comes down to, you had the St. Stephen Steves who made it last year. I'll say this: if they rode some good timing base, they were playing good ball at the right time. Mm-hmm. If, maybe in a normal year they don't make it. That's where I see, like, if Buckman can bring back that cast of players they had with it was beating the Bird Islands.
You look at 20 could always hit.
Right, yeah. 2023 they pushed the good Bird Island team to the limits in the semis. Just before, Bird Island had to face Jordan Flick and the Maple Lake squad, and we know how that ended. But it's a good group of players, and it's a good young core.
I think you're totally right on that. And then I look at another team like Foley, where it's like they were a Final 8 team last year and lost to New Ulm 1-0 in 10.
I
this is a...
Remind me, too, is Foley got some good kits on them, too? Do they have... Wasn't there a game that they had, like, just... There was an amazing uniform matchup. I think Foley was one of them. Did they play like a New Ulm team or something?
Well, New Ulm always has like the Shell's branding.
Yeah.
And the deer, and it always looks sick.
It always looks
So
sick.
yeah, it was New Ulm. Yeah, Foley 1-0.
It was just a great game all the way around. I love the Foley crew.
The Foley Lumberjacks have the sweet like
Jacks.
they have the like a J hat that is also and then they had all gray with like navy and then like a baby blue.
Yep.
And the gray tops were the sleeveless.
This is
which
what I'm
is
saying.
Awesome.
If we struggle to like find where a team might be better at like competitively at the game, let's then use it as a tiebreaker. Let's go with the best uniform.
I will always fall back on a good uniform.
So right now, I mean, as it stands, if we want to go this direction, if you guys agree, if Jordan, you agree with me, Nisswa, the Piers Lakers, the Buckman Billy Goats, and then the Foley Lumberjacks, and then we look at who we're leaving off the list, St. Stephen. You got the Avon, which, is
Fort Ripley, Sobieski again. That's so hard.
It's so hard to leave Sobieski off the list for sure. I mean, that's probably going to be a mistake on our part, but
let us know when we're wrong.
That is just
don't go light.
That is
light
just
us
such
up
such a good district.
Well, yeah, so Nisswa, Buckman, Piers, and Foley. That's District 4, and that's who we're taking for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on to District 5.
District 5 is weird. Two state tourney bids for 3 total teams.
That's pretty good percentage.
You got a good chance to go. And maybe this is where Janesville, which was formerly North Mankato, ends up, which, God, that's a drive.
I think
something they'll probably get shifted around here.
They take the 4 teams that don't make state in District 4,
put them into 5,
and then the following weekend they have to match up with District 5 to get those.
It's the
2 bids.
It's the second chance.
Yeah.
The second chance district tournament for those 4 teams.
I mean, I respect. I think Bluffton, Bemidji. I don't know a ton about Fergus right now, but
so
there's good ball there.
Those 3 teams are very good.
It's 3 good baseball teams.
But when you talk
Fergus
about
Falls, Bluffton, and Bemidji,
talk about a district getting 2/3 of their teams into it, it's like, what about that District 4? Why can't we push? Maybe there should have been another bid there instead, because that Victory League, it's been proven they play good ball when it matters. They win a lot of games.
Well, I mean, so Fergus Falls was in the B tournament last year.
Yep.
And Bluffton and Bemidji are 2 teams that are constantly in the state tournament as well. So this one's tough. It's funny because it shouldn't be tough. We have 3 to choose
You're
from.
guaranteed to get one
just
right.
Pick 2. Yeah, we're guaranteed to get one right.
Which is good.
But it's 3 teams that it's like, well, who do you leave off?
Right.
Of the 3. I would, man. Well, you have some experience with that Bemidji squad a little. You've played them in the state tournament, so you kind of know how they operate.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Bemidji. It's a great college town. They get really good ball players to come in through that high school system and then through their college teams as well. So there's plenty of well-bodied, good baseball players on the Bemidji team. I mean, I look at Bluffton; they were making deep pushes into the tournament for the longest time. I would struggle not to take Bluffton and Bemidji out of this. I mean, like I said, I don't know a ton about Fergus.
Well, they made it last year though.
And that's the thing. I shouldn't. Maybe I should know more. I don't.
I think. What I'm getting at is, I would take Bemidji and Bluffton, and then I would make those picks and then think, well, shit. I mean, Fergus Falls was in last year too, so I'm fine with going Bluffton and Bemidji.
The unique thing about this district is they had Ada in last year. Ada moved down to C, even though they made the B tournament out of this district.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Ada is. I mean, I know Ada for 2 different things. It's the last team that the Saints played in the state tournament the last time we had gone, and then I would drive through it all the time when I was going to college in Crookston. And like those are the two things I know about Ada, and well, I should say three. Ethan Upsall's probably still pitching for them all the time because he's been doing it forever. I know he did it in the state tournament the past few years. Like he's a stud. Yeah, I don't know. You want to go Bemidji and Bluffton, and then
I'm fine with that only because, like I said, maybe Fergus is the one team I just don't know enough about.
We're gonna be right on one of these.
We're gonna be right on one. We're hopefully right on the other. But then again, Fergus, prove us wrong.
Don't sleep on that playbacks. Matching up the 4 teams out of District 4. That don't
You're
come
saying that they're gonna create some wild Class B district mingle of teams? I mean, I'd love to see something unique happen there because, like I said, 2 out of 3 teams, it's a little bit like, I mean, if I'm sitting in another district and only 30% of our teams make it, I may be a little bit disappointed.
Dave Johnson is the commissioner for this district, District 5, with 3 teams, and I would like to hear his thoughts or like his plan going into what does this bracket look like? What's a 3-team bracket?
It's probably not even a bracket.
Is it just like you
best
play
of 9?
Yeah, you play each of the 2 other teams in a 3-game series, and whoever has like the highest total runs.
Yeah, it's going to be unique.
I don't know.
It's fun for them to try to figure out, and then of course, there's some distance between them. So
maybe it's just it's 2 games, and there's a first round bye for a 3 team.
The 1 seed gets the bye, which would mean that the 1 seed would.
The 1 seed gets an automatic state
to
tournament bid,
I don't know.
and the winner of the first game gets the other one.
Something to think about there, but we're going to pick Bluffton and Bemidji out of District 5. Now we get more to something where a little bit more, I guess you could say we might know a little bit more about District 6.
Yeah. District 6, it's 6 teams. There are 3 tourney bids. 5 of the 6 teams are North Star League, and then wait a minute. Breaking news.
I know if you've been following our Twitter account, we did drop some breaking news, but
yeah,
the Buffalo Bulldogs, we've got it on pretty good information that they will be brought back down to Class B, and that obviously shakes some things up. The
worst kept secret in town.
The worst.
Yeah. I think we'll get to our interview, but I think Doc even hints at it a little bit about that situation.
He absolutely does.
It's so not 6 teams. There will almost certainly be 7 teams in this district, and there's 3 tourney bids, and we have 6 North Star League teams, we think, and then 1 Stearns County League team. It is St. Martin out of the Stearns County, and then the North Star League teams are Loretto, Larks, Hutchinson Huskies, Maple Lake Lakers, Hamel Hawks, Kimball Express, and we're pretty positive the Buffalo Bulldogs.
Boy, knowing what we know.
Wait a second. What if they put Buffalo in District 5?
That would be so.
Do it.
That'd be so stupid.
Do
Don't
it.
even think about it.
Do it, and then give them 3 bids.
I was gonna say if they move Buffalo to 6, District 6.
You could move St. Martin to District 5. That's still far away for St.
How about
Martin.
this though? How about you up your District 6 bids to 4? No. Okay.
Nah.
You're saying maybe that would go CRVL's way. Maybe District 7, you need another bid down there. Maybe. We'll talk about them soon. District 6, though, adding Buffalo, and I'll say this, like Buffalo has had now, I think the window is there. They had some bad news. We heard in a league meeting pretty recently that they lost one of their top pitchers for the year, Sefker. I think is Evan. Evan had maybe some arm problems, and that's a big hit because Evan he's kind of a shutdown number 1 guy. And but with that being said, Buffalo is like their lineup 1 to 9 can crush baseballs. I mean, it's pretty fun to watch.
It's a lot of really tough outs to try to get.
They played a Class A. I mean, it didn't really truly play a Class A schedule, but they ended up getting into that Class A tournament last year. And I think that Oh no,
no.
They when I talk about that, they got into the not the district, but the Class A section.
Yeah, they were in a tough section.
They ended up playing, I think, Minnetonka, right?
That sounds right.
The Monarchs and playing
in a 3-game series, I think, and then they lost 2 games.
But I think the momentum was kind of it's tough to. I think that they had their wind kind of taken out of their sails a little bit last year. The way that the realignment went, I mean, the North Star League teams, they were the only Class A team in the North Star League. They weren't seeing a lot of competitive games because people weren't putting their best out there. They weren't seeing the true it was competitive schedule.
It was a little bit of a weird situation for our league. I do think, like we've said it before, Buffalo's a solid baseball team, but I do think what helps them here too is it's the familiarity here. Like it's a more familiar situation for them to be with their league teams in their district. I know that we picked them to make the A tournament, so I think we have to pick them to make the B tournament.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's number 1 of 3. Now, the other 2, this is going to be really hard, too.
This is so tough. This is so tough.
We have, the B tournament last year, Maple Lake made the B tournament out of this district last year. And then Kimball, who is actually new to the North Star League, they made the B tournament last year as well. Had to go through this district last year for the first time, but they're new to the North Star League this year.
Right.
But then you've got Hutch, who also made it. Is very solid all the time. Loretto is another team where you can never count them out. They always find a way to seemingly make it. And then St. Martin's solid too, and Hamel, I see them as a little bit of a mystery because they're fairly new to our league as well.
Yeah.
But I've seen them play some really good competitive games. I've seen games where it hasn't been as good, but they're a solid team. It's a tough one.
I'll say this. I mean, I think adding Kimball to the mix, that is just a team that knows how to get there. I mean, they're always making state. They're always kind of.
Well, they won it in 2017, I think.
A ways back, obviously, but they still
that
have
core
the
is still there.
The Mark core, the Mark core, as someone might call it.
Trademark
that. It's tough to not pick the Kimball Express, but then again, it's like this is a whole new league. This is a whole new district, so you really can't depend on that to happen again. St. Martin didn't make it last year. They've got some good, top end pitching. We know this. They're a really good group.
Maple Lake is getting Hunter Malachek back from injury.
If you know anything,
he is a difference maker. He is as much of a difference maker as anyone.
Yeah. If you know anything about, Hunter Malachek, before his injury, he was winning league MVP and league pitcher of the year. I mean, it was he's a dominant force. So it's like, how do you pick two more out of this? It's really tough. Yeah. I would say just because Hamel is still new to the show, I'm going to say that they're not going to be into that mix right now.
Okay.
St. Martin didn't make it last year. Maybe that's enough for us to just say well, this is a prove it year, and we're just going to leave you off the list right now.
Yeah.
Hutchinson, they ran into a buzzsaw. They ran into a good team last year in state, and I forget
what
who
team
they
was
played.
that?
I don't remember. No, it was they lost on their home park to the old rivals, the Delano Athletics, and so the Huskies are always a good team.
I didn't mention this yet either, but Loretto is getting. They're going to get back a former league MVP just 2 seasons ago in Keenan Hodgkin. He's going to be around playing for Loretto, and he is very good too. This is tough. This is as tough for us to pick as it was for District 4. District 4, we know the names.
Yeah.
We know the brands or whatever. And District 6, we really know the players.
I think Maple Lake with
death taxes and
they're gonna if Malachek is he doesn't even have to be all of what he used to be. And then what's the kid they picked up from St. Michael? Frank.
Yeah,
they're lefty.
he was their number one last year.
That's you have two guys.
They have.
I would actually put them above Buffalo.
They have a
right
1-2 punch
So,
that can compete with
Pitching
anybody
matters.
there.
Pitching's gonna definitely matters.
I like.
So I don't know how you wouldn't go with Maple Lake, but
Yeah.
I'm letting you guys do it.
No, you're right.
Play.
I would go Maple Lake, and I mean, a couple of years ago, I got to share a dugout with them in a state tournament and win one, and just knowing those guys, they'll even say it. They'll tell you, they just know how to win at the right time or get it done, and they've proved it. And I would take them with one of the bids.
So we've got Buffalo, we've got Hutchinson, and Maple Lake. Did we officially pick Hutchinson? I mean, I might have.
It sounds like we are.
I maybe had in my mind. I think I'm going to take them just because they had a good tournament last year. They pushed far into it. It leaves us with Loretto and Kimball.
Yeah.
Or wait. We did pick our three.
No, we picked our three.
I'm thinking
why
that we have four. No, we've only got three.
That's what makes this so hard, and
it's so tough because now you're leaving off Loretto.
Well, we've picked. Yeah, I mean, we've picked Buffalo, Maple Lake, and Hutch. We could be 0 for 3. It could be
Kimball, St.
Martin, Loretto. It could be
easily.
There's just no telling who the three teams are, and we've picked our three, and maybe we'll hit on one or two of them. I don't know.
And it's funny because we have all this information and all this insider knowledge, and it's like the more you know, the less you know.
Right.
The harder the decision because it's like,
pick,
well, we know that this guy's coming back, and this guy's coming back, and this team lost a guy.
And Wayzata High School had some pretty good baseball teams, and if Hamill grabs a couple of them,
it could change. It could absolutely change overnight.
Well, and they have a solid squad as is. I know they're the, I guess, of the teams in this district, they're the newest, I guess, team to this. I mean, Hamill, again, another team with historically good baseball, but this is kind of a different, newer squad in the Hawks, and they could totally surprise us here and just go do it.
Yep.
I wouldn't put it past them.
We got to give a love to Hamill because we know we've got some Hamill listeners in the Townball universe. So shout out to Hamill. But I think we go Buffalo, we go Hutchinson, and we go Maple Lake. A little bit of a North Star League bias. I'm sorry, St. Martin. We're not probably going to nail this. So I think we're going to miss this somehow.
Oh, and not just this district.
Oh, yeah. But it's like even the one that we know the most about, it feels like we could go over potentially, and that's baseball, baby. I mean, that's just how it goes. But yeah, Buffalo, Maple Lake, and Hutchinson for District 6.
We'll move on to District 7, where it just means more.
It does. It just means a little bit more. I think about this. CRVL, there's a lot of teams right now, a lot of leagues that are kind of, they're putting out their previews for their leagues, and you've got a couple people that are awesome in the kind of that media side of things.
Yeah.
Kip Kovar is one of the best. I mean, that's a CRVL guy through and through. He's done a little bit of North Star League, but he is a CRVL guy. They've got the Stenders down there. They've got, the radio shows that they've got down there. The coverage is awesome. I love listening in to a CRVL hot stove. I love listening in to a CRVL season preview. Mm-hmm. I love listening to the Watertown representation. Who's our guy? The
Cheetah.
Yeah. When you listen to him on the radio show, you can't hear the gel in his hair, but you can tell that it's there, right?
He's a handsome guy.
He's a handsome fella. But I just cannot get enough of the CRVL preview. There's a lot of pride in the CRVL, and I think there's good reason for it, but I don't know, Hayes. I don't know if you've kind of taken on the CRVL lifestyle. Does your arm get kind of sore patting yourself on the back every day? I mean, that's the question.
I'll say this: if St. Benedict is America's team, The Carver Valley League is America's league.
Yeah.
Now, I love that. You say, too, before every league meeting, you hold a moment of silence for every other league. Is that correct?
Correct.
I love it. And, being that you're, the Delano, the state champs, and the forever North Star League team of all time, and 1 year in the CRVL, and boom, you get it done. So that was, they have reason to kind of gloat. I'll say that.
I mean, I'll be up front with it. We did catch another podcast, and we're going to name it because that's fine. The Sports and Songs podcast, which I do want to say, I'm going to preface by saying I'm a fan. I think you guys run a really good show, and it's a fun time to listen to. There was a lot of self-patting on the back from the CRVL teams, but I think about that, and we give you a little guff for it. But
some of the smartest fans, actually the smartest fans in Minnesota,
we give you some guff for it. But then I would like to imagine, I'm assuming this is how it is. If any of those guys listen to this show, they're probably thinking, "Oh my God, they're talking about the North Star League again." Do they get tired of? Do they ever get tired of patting themselves on the back?
Yeah.
Hold a moment aside.
This is right after we spent 15 minutes talking about Buffalo.
That was
again
a little excess.
We ran lengthy on District 6, and now we're talking about District 7 thinks they're so great. It's like, yeah, we're doing the same thing. We know. We
no
get
bias.
It. We totally get it.
No bias.
And yes, like you said, with good reason, these are good baseball teams.
Yeah, I mean it's.
We have to pick 4 of 7.
Jeff Lenz, by the way, is the.
Waconia Jeff Lenz.
Jeff Lenz.
He's the district commissioner for District 7, and he is in charge of commissioning these 7 teams: the Young America Cardinals, the Watertown Red Devils, the Carver Black Sox, the Green Isle Irish, the St. Bonnie Saints, the Plato Blue Jays, and the Delano Athletics.
I mean,
Plato and Delano made the which of these teams made the B tournament last year? Obviously, Delano, Plato,
Young America went deep.
And
that's it.
You just had 3, and now you have 4.
And now we have 4. Yeah.
Plato was one and done. Young America
America
loses to Delano,
and
Delano wins in the championship. So, yeah, once again, good reason. They're very proud of this of the league they've got there. It's going to be another good year for the CRVL. I don't know how you get away from what you got. I mean, Watertown is like, you always say like, oh, Watertown again. They didn't quite get there, but boy, they if they could just get to state. But is it the last 2 years they've kind of tripped up in the last 3 years?
Yeah, 2 or 3. But again, that's a team where it's like, it's not surprising at all if they go and make a run because they're solid.
They're solid.
Very good.
They're a very good ball club.
Carver has been in it in recent years.
Yeah, Carver in the early 2020s was a mainstay in the state tournament. They had some. I think they were getting some Eden Prairie kind of Minnetonka area guys. They're definitely a lot younger now. But they have Bailey Mells, and he's a solid number 1, and they got a couple young guys, I think, that pitch down at Gustavus. So, Carver is a unique one. They're very talented. They have some young guys that Bailey's trying to bring along. So they definitely could grab one of those bids for sure.
Well, and I think another unique one too would be like St. Bonnie. They've been Class B. They've been Class A. They've been all over the board.
Yeah, so Bonnie went C to A. They made the state tournament in 2024, kind of out of nowhere. Then they did really bulk up their roster. Jared over there kind of just has that mentality that St. Bonnie's this very small town, but they don't have a true school district to grab from. So he does get a lot of West Metro guys. I think his kid plays at Holy Family, which is over in Victoria. So he does have I don't know, I don't want to call it the feeder program, but he has a little bit of an in over there, or at least did. So they're grabbing some West Metro guys, and that kind of bumped them up to A, and it looks like they had a mass release to get down to B. But them and Carver, they're going to be kind of wild cards. So I don't know what they're going to look like, but Every game, I mean, Bonnie beat it. We played Bonnie last year twice, and we split with them. And they rolled out their best team. I think we rolled out our best team, and that's kind of how the chips fell. So they're going to be tough.
Well, they're always tough.
Then there's Green Isle, who didn't go last year, and they maybe haven't made it in the past few years or whatever. But that's another team, and I've kind of beat it to death. But historically, have had success at the state tournament level.
Yeah, they're under new management, kind of. This year they have a new manager, Mike Dent, and his kid Austin is definitely their ace. I think he pitches down at Southwest State. Must be 21, maybe 22 years old. So you start going through all the Crow River Valley League teams, and everybody does have one kind of top end guy.
Yeah,
that's going to be. You start looking at, what could these first round matchups be in the playoffs? And you're like, this guy against this guy. It kind of going to flip a coin. Who's going to get the break?
Right.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's going to be a tough call, but you look at there being 4 bids now. You had 3 last year, right?
Yep.
And that's where Watertown got kind of the short end of the stick. I think Plato, their pitching can carry them. Who did they run into last year in the first round that
Princeton kind of came out of nowhere.
Nailed them.
Reese Schwartz, he kind of emptied the tank to beat Watertown to get into the state tournament, and then kind of bounced back that next week. I think he threw. They played extra innings. And I just don't know if he maybe didn't quite bounce back, wasn't as sharp against Princeton. But
was that last season or the season before that he set the league strikeout record with
2 years?
It was like 130.
It was
strikeouts or something.
Incredible number.
Because last year I think we kept track just for like B versus B, C versus C. But the year before, when you had the 22 some games, but it was an obnoxious number of strikeouts.
Right.
Well, comes from a good baseball family. And
Plato is such a fun place to play. And just, I grew up watching like all these guys' dads play, which is kind of funny. Like, you're like, the last names are the exact same. And these people I'm playing, the guys on the team, though, are only like 22 and 23. And so...
Yeah,
it's their kids now.
It's great.
It's cool.
Plato's one of those true small town teams, and the thing is, all those guys literally could walk to the ballpark, and could walk to the Kingpin Bar where we have our league meetings amidst dart games.
Of course. I mean, now with the 4 tourney bids, I think I feel like it kind of gives us a clear path. I mean,
I think we got to.
You go with, you got Hayes over here. We're gonna crown you. We're gonna crown you again. It's Delano A's. You always pick if a team's gonna win a state title, you're gonna pick them the next year to make the tourney. No doubt about it. They were Young America, a team that ended up losing to the Delano squad. Young America is a great team. I mean, they could have easily been
I would
hoisting the trophy last year. It was just the way things turned out. I mean, YA, Delano, Plato getting, jumped in the first round. They still have the pitching to get there easily, I think. And then Watertown getting that last bid, I think, finally can give Watertown that, that in that they've needed.
I would be good with those 4 teams, Delano, Young America, Plato, and Watertown. So the 3 that had made it last year plus Watertown. Delano was the champs. They should be in it.
It just means more. And I want to say this too. Every league game during the regular season, it might as well just be a final weekend game. That's what, and I love that too. When that line gets dropped, it's one of my favorites. The smartest fans in Minnesota. It's a final weekend matchup every league game. I love the CRVL. I love what they bring. The media coverage, the characters, it's just it's elite. So as much as we want to give them a hard time, they do it right down there. That is for sure.
They do. They really do. So we've got 1 district left here. District 8, 6 teams, 2 state tourney bids. This is going to be the perfect segue for us to go into our into our interview.
Absolutely.
I would say
We got the Wilmer Rails.
So there's only 5 teams. It says 6 on the spreadsheet, but there's only 5.
Yeah, there's 5 teams,
yep.
and 2 of
Two
them are
bids,
gonna 2 are gonna earn it. The Wilmer Rails, the Bird Island Bullfrogs, the Raymond Rockets, the Wilmer Indians, and the Marshall A's. We've got our guest coming up, Doc Nagel, the Bird Island manager, a team that's
his team went last year.
He basically picked himself.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you'll hear.
He picked them.
I think Bird Island went last year to the B tournament. Raymond also went last year to the B tournament.
I think you might have named my 2 picks right there.
You would pick those 2. Both Wilmer teams. So the Rails are under new management now, and you'll hear a little bit more about that in the interview.
Yeah.
But they have been to the state tournament in I don't know, they were not in it last year. 2023.
Who?
Wilmer Rails.
Yeah, they were in 23. Yeah.
23 they were in it, and then 22 I think.
Yep.
So recent success, but new management now, and I think there's maybe some freshness there that
Sure.
might play to their advantage. And then the Wilmer Indians, brand new team as of last year, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Super fun team, really into it, really competitive, really fun. They're a team that I think on any given night could go beat whatever team. And then Marshall, I don't know a ton about, but again, and this is kind of the theme, historically good baseball there. So of these 5 teams, I would go Bird Island and I would go Raymond.
Yeah, it's just like who have we seen make it the last 5 years? I mean, Raymond for the last 10 years has been.
Well, Raymond has a title under their belt in the last 10 years.
Of course.
Bird Island has been to the title game.
They've been knocking on the door every year. So it seems to me like a no doubter. I think you're looking at some young teams otherwise, and yeah, they can surprise you, but until further notice, we got to take our Bullfrogs and Rockets out of the Corn Belt League, which we'll hear a little bit more about here soon. I mean, that kind of concludes our predictions, which were sponsored by Rambo Inc. Did we say that?
No, we didn't. These are our Rambo Class B rankings.
Let's just say it is the Rambo Class B rankings.
Even though we didn't really rank them, we just picked them.
Right,
Yeah.
it's the Rambo Class B rankings.
So nobody wants to throw Janesville in, though.
Well, I was going to say...
chuck Janesville into District 5, have them meet halfway in Dassel, and have them play those 9 games.
Gladly will host you.
Whatever.
No, I'm trying to remember when we did we picked it. Did we pick a champ?
Yeah.
We did.
We did. So we probably got to do that again. I want to lean Janesville, but maybe we should pick a different team. I don't know. Before we get to this interview, we got to crown our preseason champs so they can hang the banner.
Hang the preseason Talking Townball banner.
I think, man, this is tough.
Last year we picked the Buffalo Bulldogs, and then they decided to immediately leave Class B.
Because we jinxed them.
Because we jinxed them.
So I don't know. I think,
Gosh.
I like...
You know what I want to do? I want kind of like a bulletin board material type thing. I think you can't pick Delano.
No, we
There's
can't.
no way they do it.
We need to give them some ammo.
And it's just like 2 years in a row. Are you kidding me? You guys are going to be hungover till October. So I'm going to say Young America comes back, and it means more. It does.
Okay.
It just means more. CRVL back-to-back Young America Cardinals.
To back.
Or how many?
Waconia in 2024.
You're right, golly. Forget about the Class A team that played in C for a little bit, but
we're gonna roll Young America. That's our champion of the world.
CRVL, more love. I think the Young America teams are really good.
I mean they've been good for a long time, and maybe this is the year.
This is the year. I of course I love our North Star League teams. I just Buffalo is going to be adding them to the mix is going to make Class B even more competitive. And then the Victory League, all they do is win. There are going to be some really good teams.
You watch a team that we didn't even pick go to the state tournament from District 4 win it.
Watch, yeah. Exactly.
I'm not going to be shocked.
No.
I guess that concludes our Rambo prediction selections, whatever we're calling it. Rambo's the sponsor of it, and this is a pretty good lead into someone else who's going to talk a little bit more about Class B, being that they are the manager of a team.
Yeah, we'll be right back for our Max Bat interview with State Board Representative Mike Nagel and leader of the Bird Island Mighty Bullfrogs. All right, and we are here with our guest from the State Board and the manager out in Bird Island, none other than Doc Nagel, Mike Nagel. Mike, how you doing today?
Wonderful, guys. Thanks for having me.
So you said before we hit record that it's snowing in Bird Island, though?
Well, we had the Lions work night at Lions Memorial Park, and it was pretty nice flakes coming down as we pressure washed the grandstand. But you know how it works in amateur baseball when beggars can't be choosers. You got people there, you do the work, and you do it when you can. So we got a lot done, got our signs up on the fence. So I think we're ahead of schedule, so it's good. And the snow will melt.
When's the high school team's first game supposed to be?
Friday.
Okay, yeah. So you don't have a choice. You're just like, we got to get it done. And
when you're in a town our size, it's like, okay, takes a village. Let's go. Everybody that's free, we're going to start at 5, and now everyone's sitting in the other room having some pizza and a couple of cocktails.
Very
That's
good.
awesome.
Well deserved. So we're going to start off talking a little bit more on the state board side, the whole Townball landscape, I guess, as you would call it. We went back to 3 classes last year. So we had every site, the 3 main sites of state tournament were full every night and all weekend, and Glencoe ended up having a full weekend worth of games and then brought another one back on that last weekend, that Friday night as well. So just kind of want to get your thoughts, how you felt things went, and then we'll discuss maybe what you're looking forward to here in season 2 of all 3 classes being under one roof.
Sure. Well, the biggest thing for me is I think Townball is the small town Minnesota. About 150 of our teams probably have less than 2,500 people in their town. And in the past system, once in every blue moon, maybe a little town could make it to the big tournament and do okay. Like, the Stearns County team that I think Kimball, I think, beat Lake Henry in Green Isle. But we wanted to protect and make sure that those towns feel like, there's a reason to exist. We don't want them to feel like, okay, we're going to play a big town and we get our butts whipped. And, there's definitely the haves and the have-nots. And this way by splitting it up, I think some of our smaller towns, even in our league teams, Wabasso and Granite, and Granite has a storied history, but their team isn't as strong as it's been. It just gives them a fighting chance so that they feel like, if they get hot and maybe draft the right pitcher, they could actually do some damage in a state tournament. And the Class B tournament is murderer's row. I think it's the hardest tournament to win in the country. You put the NCAA tournament, and I'm not just blowing smoke up you there, Hazy boy. We got second once, and I cried for a month because you get so close to the Golden Cup, and then just and it's murderer's row. I mean, you go into that tournament now, you have a bad game, you're done. That's just the way it is. Every team in the tournament is loaded, and the A tournament is always fun because the teams are so good and there's so much talent. And the young kids that played in this A tournament before, they're so much happier now that they get to come out and there's more than 25 people at the game, and the atmosphere is good, and I think it's really going to be good in the long run. There's going to be some fluctuation, and we had some problems, maybe it's partly the board's fault, maybe it's partly the just the change. But Buffalo kind of got moved up, and I think they could have, if they would have massaged their roster the way they could have, they would have been down lower. And we're going to deal with that, and that's going to get taken care of. So we just want teams to play against like teams and have people have a great time. I think one time problem was people thought the C tournament was going to be really, really lower talent or competition at but they showed up and they did a great job, and fun to see a lot of new teams come.
Yeah,
100%.
sure.
I mean, we sit at this table, and obviously Hayes is with Delano, and what Delano did last year, they take home a title. And then, I look at Jordan to my left here, and, the DC Saints pushed in the region. I mean, we ended up playing each other, Litchfield and DC, to get a qualifier for state, and things that just weren't maybe possible 3 or 4 years ago, because they're juggernauts, even in the North Star League, when we talk about like Maple Lake and Hutchinson and Loretto and Buffalo.
Oh, they're stacked.
It was just like you stare at that wall of teams and you say, okay, if we can somehow sneak in, it's a hell of an accomplishment. And the shift, I would say, even from a few years ago to last year, the region was still super competitive, but yeah, it just gave opportunities to maybe some smaller teams that didn't have that before.
I mean, I was running the game that you played with. You guys played Waterville.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best games of the tournament. So tight, so tense. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're in a 2-class system, maybe Litchfield makes it, maybe they don't. But those kids from Litchfield, I mean, it tore their hearts out to lose that game. That's I'm from Litchfield. I played ball with your old man.
Oh yeah,
and
he'll be listening, by the way. So
yes,
so shout out to
Scotty.
Scott.
Hi, bud. Love you. Best home run hitter ever. So
you're gonna,
I don't know
he's gonna eat this
to
up.
His kid.
You know what? I went the managerial route, and we're doing just fine with that. But
dude, I followed your path. The Rubnathi tree of coaching.
Yeah,
it's I'm there too.
Yep.
So
love it. But yeah, no, that you're exactly right. The giving opportunities to small town teams, and to be honest, the following. The stands in Hutchinson were packed. I mean, Waterville, they were, they're a state team even without that transitional, to this new system. But to have us to go to Hutchinson in our backyard, I mean, it was a packed house, and I just think of all the opportunities that were, bestowed upon teams that maybe would have been a bubble team on, just on the outside looking in. And I think that's really cool. And like you said, Class B is just an absolute, it's just a minefield of great teams. And each class is kind of, I don't know what you'd say, inherited like their own little style.
Personality.
Personality, 100%. You go to Class A games, you're exactly right. This is just highly talented kids that don't really fit that, that small town situation, but it's just the best baseball ever. And then you got Class B, which that's a lot of former Class C teams. They've got the small town feel, but it is ultra competitive. And then the Class C now, more of a natural small town feel. It really opens it up to like an underdog, a really true underdog.
Oh,
would you agree? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's funny you talk about Class A and they don't really understand. When I was running the tournament, and I believe it was in Dassel, and they were playing Dundas, and it was Highland Park, and the Dundas coach comes over and goes, "Are they coming?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Well, they're not even here. And I look over, and they're the home team. They're supposed to take ins and outs. And I said, Ludwig, why don't you just go ahead and do it? You take ins and outs, it'll be fine. And if they want to do it, they'll do it. Well, they start rolling in. And this, the rule, you got to be dressed and everything. And this guy's first state tournament, he comes in and he's wearing a pair of biker shorts and he's got some kind of a do-rag on and a wife beater. And I'm like, whoa, dude, what do you think you're doing? He goes, hey, old man. I'm the star of this team. I'll do what I want. And I said, you know what, son, let's start this over. I run this tournament, and if you don't turn your biker short ass around and go get out of here and go get dressed, your team's done for the tournament.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, well, that sounds like a good idea. I'll be right back. I'll take care." But he came in like he thought he was gonna just start the world on fire.
Oh man, that's so good.
Well, maybe he was in a Village People tribute band, and you didn't get the full backstory, Mike.
Yeah.
So let's.
You were probably in it with him.
I think for a lot of the Class A teams that had never, been a part of a 3-class system prior to the NBA going back, that's something they probably just didn't think about or maybe weren't prepared for, even though, like, I know that the rules are all out there for everyone to read, but sometimes they get missed. And, sometimes you come into the park with biker shorts. I hope that... Because I think I was probably a team host coordinator that year. I hope I didn't have anything to do with that. I'd feel bad.
No, when the team doesn't take ins and outs, it's pretty funny. I think it was Air Freight was playing Lions Pub, and the Air Freight guys go, "We're good."
I guess you do have the option to say
on the mound, you probably can be good.
Exactly.
You're not going to need to field the ball or hit.
We have a pitcher and a catcher. We're all right.
We'll get our arms warm throwing it around the horn every 3 to 4 pitches.
We're not going to talk about a pitcher and a catcher thing like this Ethan Stady story from last year. You're not going to bring that up, are you?
Nope, we weren't gonna.
I don't even remember. But now I'm going to look it up.
That's Well, we won't talk. We don't have to talk about that. If you don't want to.
If we have time, we can. But I'm a little long-winded, so you can decide.
I don't know if we can just say we had a good segment of a show last year that was dedicated to that performance, and questions were brought up, regarding what was happening and what was going on, but I
wasn't in the lineup.
You batted yourself lead off.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, I've been around this game a long time, and I'm sitting over there with Al Floor, and we've been friends forever, and I'm like, whoa, that guy's got some heat. Yeah, he's in the bullpen at Mankato. He really's had some arm troubles, really hasn't gotten to pitch much, and I'm like, he's 6'5", he's lefty, and he looks like an absolute stallion, and I'm like, John Rocker maybe? Like? So. Yeah. I said, boys, you better tighten her up because this guy's he's the real deal. And we go into the 9th inning. It was 1-0 in the 5th or 6th, and their guy hit a ball and busted my pitcher's shin.
Oh no!
He shattered his fibula.
Oh my God!
So I mean, it wasn't like we were. It was a good game, and we brought a short group of people along. You know how it goes in amateur baseball. So you're moving guys. All right, the catcher's going to pitcher. You're moving here, and I'm just, if anybody else gets hurt, we're done, and we drink Shell's beer. So, he gets to the 9th inning, and I'm like, have we gotten any? No. We haven't gotten anybody. Nobody's made an out other than strikeouts. We've had 3 hits, 2 walks, and a bean guy. But no outs have been a strikeout. So he strikes out the first guy in the 9th inning, and Penn Athman hits a ball to first, and one of our former players, Trevor Nissen's playing first, and their team's yelling, "Let it go! Let it go!" And so he feels it. That guy gets ground out, and then the next guy struck out. So 26 out of 27, and they bring it up on the Twins game the next night, and I'm like, please don't say who they're playing. Please don't say. And the announcers are like, yeah, did you hear about New Ulm? They had an amateur game, and this pitcher, he struck out 26 out of 27 guys. I don't think that's ever happened in any level of baseball in the history of Earth. And I'm like, and then they stopped, and I'm like, oh, thank God. And then he goes, yeah, and they played a team, and I'm like, no, they played good too. I think they're pretty decent at Bird Island. Yeah. And then my phone just blew up, and I'm like, it's over.
Yeah. Oh, that is so good. Yeah, that was a heck of a story to hear about. Obviously, yeah, it was a kind of you wouldn't call it a fluke. Obviously, this guy was a beast, but you guys are perennially, the last couple, however many years you've been a state team, we knew it was a pretty unique circumstance. So still fun to hear stories out of the western part of Minnesota, which we need to represent more. This is like our
agree.
Western Minnesota
This definitely
representation interview.
definitely
right here.
is. We had Paul
Whoops,
Melcher.
sorry.
No, you're good. We had Paul Melcher representing Class A last week. So
He's a great guy.
He's great, but just kind of knowing, hey, they rent out parade and you get usually 2 games a night, so it makes sense why sometimes I'm sure they don't even take infield outfield for game number 2, and game number 1's probably got guys rolling in from work or wherever they're coming from, and it's just let's go, let's play, because we don't get an opportunity
Lights go off in 2 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So makes sense, but they're definitely all getting rewired. I know that they're excited to be. We're all excited to be under one roof now. So, but speaking of Western Minnesota, we got state board or state tournament bids coming up for 29, 30, and maybe 31. And rumor has it Bird Island has thrown their name in the ring. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about that. What you're planning on doing out at your park? Anything new? You had it back in 2010, and then who your partners are going to be.
Well, we weren't really thinking much about doing it, and then Springfield called and said, "Hey, we want to partner with you." And in 10, we went with Wilmer and Spicer, and I think things went really well. And I think everyone that came to our park enjoyed it and had a great time. It's just hard when you work with a park that's controlled by a Northwoods team. It just throws a lot of wrenches into the fire. I mean, Wilmer did a great job and everything went great, but the poor people that ran the amateur tournament had a lot of hoops to jump through.
Sure.
So we talked about Granite and Marshall, but it's so far from. It's an hour between Bird Island and Marshall, and it's so fun when the tournament is, especially for the state board, when it's 15 minutes from all 3 sites, like it's going to be this year. They're so close. It's easy, and it makes it fun. You get done and you can go hang out with the other board members and have a good time. But so Springfield came to us and said, "Hey, we want to bid. We'd love to work with you." And so I went to my board and talked to them, and they said, "Well, let's get the band back together. We're pretty old, but I think we got one more in us, and we can kind of turn it over to the younger crowd." So we decided to go with Sleepy Eye, and we kind of got a unique little thing going, or our theme is going to be that we're going to be the tournament of the decades, because Sleepy Eye had it in 2020. We had it in, or 20. They had it in 20 or 2000. We had it in 10. And Springfield had it in 2020.
Oh, wow.
So we want to bid for 2030 and be the tournament of the decades. That's
nice.
kind of our theme, and
We like
and I think we've got a pretty good foresight too. I have to say it's probably one of my top 2 fields in the state. Delano has been nice enough to say we'll take the first weekend of, well, you know the drill. You said the schedule. So I've been doing this a long time. I moved to Bird Island in 90 or 89, and we started our team in 90, and I've been involved in it since then, whether it's a player, coach, state board member. And this is the thing you live for. You guys have all hosted state tournaments, and you don't realize it until you do it. It's probably the most difficult thing you'll do in your life, but it's also maybe one of the most rewarding. I mean, the work that goes into putting on the best tournament it's unbelievable. I mean, when we hosted it in 10, I remember we built this new plaza, and our fencing showed up Thursday.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
For the top of the plaza. So I mean, we got this beautiful plaza, and you could walk right off of it and fall off on the field. And the semi shows up at 1:00 in the afternoon, and we bolted fence down till 3 a.m. Thursday night, and the tournament started Friday. And I mean, I think most sites have that's the beauty of amateur. It's not, it's volunteers, it's people that love the game, that want to make it really wonderful for everyone who shows up. And that's I think what's Springfield's field is phenomenal. Sleepy Eye just added a huge party deck.
Right.
It's gorgeous. I mean, Delano's field is, I mean, we can all wish, but that's.
Yeah, we hear about them enough, so
Literally never.
we
talk
would
about
love to
it.
focus
I
on the
literally
main
never talk
three
about
sites of
the
it.
Muni.
But I'll put our field up in little tiny 1,000 population Bird Island against anybody, and I guarantee when people come out, and if we do get the bid, they're gonna be happy they got to play or come and watch a game there. Our fans and people that will work the tournament are phenomenal, just like every other tournament, and we'll do our best to make sure that the surface and the experience is phenomenal.
Well, it's ironic that you have, what would we call it, some sort of branding to go, the tournament of the decades in 2000, 2010, 2020. And we were the marketing guys for 2023.
Yeah.
And you talk about, it's so much work, but it's so rewarding. Well, if we don't get the 100 state tournament, we don't really become friends. We don't start this podcast. We're not talking here. So, I mean, that's just, so
it's
go ahead, Mike.
amazing when you think about your life. I'm in my car now. I'm sorry. I'm going to put my seatbelt on so I don't have to give another pair of free Oakleys
Safety
to the
first.
highway patrolman. That's so. You talk about karma. I mean, you think about. You just said, well, if we don't get a podcast, you sit and think about the people in amateur baseball that do all their work. Are you? Do I got you yet?
Yeah, we're
We're
good.
good.
Mike.
Yep.
Okay. I sit and I think about, well, what if I would have taken an eye doctor job at Chaska? Well, I was a shitty baseball player. Nobody would have asked me to play.
Right.
I would have never even being involved in it. And you guys would be so much happier because I would have never been on the state board. It would have been so much better for everyone. But the field was an absolute dog track. And I went out there and I started working on it by myself, and pretty soon we got 20 guys out there, and now you got yourself a great field. And they asked me to join and play, and I fell in love with it again. Thanks again to Rube Nathy, who may get some barbs, but that guy, he loved baseball as much as any human being on earth. I love you, Rube. So
Yeah, still does. He's still hanging out all the time at the field, so.
He still calls me and says, "Hey, I think I know some things about baseball that we need to talk about."
Sounds like Rube.
You know how that conversation goes. You might as well go ahead and get a big drink of Jameson, because you're going to be sitting there listening to Rube, because you're not talking one second.
No, not at all.
No, and that's why he's awesome. I love the man.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
Well, we like to hear that. We like the stories and the characters that Townball brings to us, and we're throwing a bit into our group, but we're definitely pulling for years too. We want to go to new ballparks. I've been was at actually all three sites. I've been going to state tournaments since '96, so I want to get back to some of these places, and I want to get to some new places, and you and your group have done a good job in encouraging new sites to host, and teams and sites getting new partners. So we appreciate that. And just talking about field stuff, and we spent a couple minutes on, I think it was our holiday episode, talking about some Townball people that we lost that we can't replace. And I know that hits close to home because you just lost somebody over there in Bird Island, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about him for a couple minutes.
yeah, it hit really hard for me. His name was Jim Gunner Flan, and when I moved here in '90, he had started or '89, he started a computer company right across the street from me, and so he was the first person I met when I moved to Bird Island.
Wow.
And we became wonderful friends. We lived together for a few years, and when I started dating my wife, she would come out and with her 2 girls, and he would babysit while we would go out on dates, and he was in our wedding, and he's about as close of a friend as I have. I mean, he was instrumental in getting our team started up. We got us accepted into the Era Wilson League, which I'll tell you, Andy, you go ahead and talk about Murderers Row in the North Star. We joined the Air Wilson with the Kaiserhof and the Marshallades, and we lost 56 games in a row. That was the start of the Islanders at the time. 3 years in a row, we lost every game. In fact, our first game was against Arlington, and I don't know if you know, and their team was quite good. Duke O'Brien comes up, Hall of Famer, strikes out in the first inning, gets up again in the first inning, and still there's only one out. So he hits a grand slam in the first inning. He gets up again in the first inning and hits a double. So he had 6 RBI in the first inning and he struck out. But anyway, so we lost by multiple digits that game. But anyway, getting back to my good friend Gunner, if you've been in this game as long as I have, you know who the people are that are they're your brothers. They have, he started our team. He played, he managed. He's been our groundskeeper for the last 15, 20 years. After every game, he sits down and tells me what I did wrong and wrong and wrong. And when you've gone through that kind of a situation and you hang together and you keep it together, and now our team is, I think, very successful compared to where we started, and the program you build. I think Mark Forsman said it best. He said, if you want to be good, you have to build it from within. And we did that. And Gunner was instrumental in that. And he ended up, he loved that field probably as much as anybody. I bet he lived there. He was there 12 hours. Well, you guys know the people that take care of the fields, they're there 12 hours a day. They make, I don't know if he made $1 an hour. And he could have cared less. He just wanted to be at the park. He loved the kids. It was awesome. And he ended up in December, he started to not feel well. And so he went into the doctor and they did all the tests that they're supposed to, and they couldn't find anything wrong. And he just kept getting sicker and sicker. And he finally went back in, and they found out he had acute myeloid leukemia. And he went into the Methodist, and they started doing some stuff to help him with that, and I thought he was going to be fine, and he ended up having a brain bleed, and within 2 days, I lost one of my best friends. And, dude, it's when you've been friends with someone for 40 years, it takes a part of you out of you. It makes you old a lot quicker. And, that's why the game we have, I see people that they don't appreciate it, or they don't give it what they should. There's nothing that bothers me more than a kid who doesn't respect the game, because I've seen so many people that have had our team was so bad, and yet we kept battling and battling and battling because we wanted to be relevant eventually. And so if I have a kid on my team who doesn't follow what my mantra of what I want, I'm in his face. And a lot of them, I'm old school. They don't like that anymore. And I don't care. That's nice. That's what, I tell them, my boys, I said, guys, I love you all, but I don't need any more friends. You're going to do it my way, and this ain't a democracy.
Right.
We played in a tournament in Arlington one time, and half the team didn't show up, and I don't know if you know Bryce, the umpire. He's a great guy from Arlington.
Yeah.
And he
Eggert.
listened
Eggert.
Yeah.
and he goes, I sat my boys down and I said, this ain't no damn democracy. This is a dictatorship, and I'm the damn king. And I'll tell you what to do and when to do it. And if you don't like it, you can move to a damn new kingdom. That's how it works. And Bryce goes, God, I wish I would have had a phone and wrote this shit down, because it's the best speech I've ever heard. And but I can't stand it when people don't respect the game.
Well,
It's so great.
especially, you have people like Gunnar in your life for so long that, they dedicated so much time and effort into building something in Bird Island and baseball in your community. So you would hope that everyone else would kind of follow along with that. It's like, well, if this guy means so much to you and has done this much in the community for baseball, it's like everybody should pitch in too then.
Right. And just to piggyback on that too, sometimes I like to remind the younger kids that maybe haven't seen how like a field has developed in a community or how certain things have come together. You have to say this stuff doesn't just fall from the sky. It doesn't just land in the middle of a small town. It takes decades of work and sweat and tears and
Well, the Blues played on Dragon Field.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was the field. I mean, the Optimus Park, Paul, a dirt edge guy, he says your park is his favorite in the state. Paul Zwaska said that place is absolutely how I would build a field.
Oh, that's awesome. Fun to hear. And like you said, though, you have to sometimes remind the younger generation that they're there for a reason. It's a lot of I don't know, you could say, like I've mentioned this before, but you stand on the shoulders of giants. You've got people that have built these programs and have put so much time, and sometimes their entire life has gone into, building a program. And I think you saw that there with Gunnar and your experience there at Bird Island. Yeah,
Gunnar, I mean, the movie, Remember the Titans, you can't replace a Gary Bertier. You cannot replace a guy like that. I mean, if Cole Flick leaves Dassel, it's different. It's different. I mean, it's changed. So, we had a meeting tonight. We sat around and everyone's like, well, who's going to be the groundskeeper? And I said, well, we all have to be. It's different. Right. It's, the one guy goes, well, I'll do it, but I play golf on Tuesdays and I'm at the lake every weekend and I'm gone for 2 weeks on vacation. I'm like, well, you're done.
Get out.
This is, you live this. This is, you're married to this. Right. And you all know it. And everybody listening that will listen to this gets it. And that's the beauty of what you guys do, because the brotherhood gets what I'm talking about. You can't, we're going to have, so tomorrow we're actually having a benefit and tomorrow night and Saturday in the bars in Bird Island, and we're going to raise money because Gunnar always wanted a varsity softball field in Bird Island.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
So we have plans to build a $200,000 softball field that will mirror our baseball field, and we're going to start the getting her going tomorrow. And Saturday. So this old man gets to try to build another field. And,
that's cool.
And it's going to be in his name.
Absolutely.
We have a building called the Lily Pad where he sat every game that was ever played on that field. He's there. He's at every game. And it's now going to be Gunnar's Lily Pad, and we're going to make a cool sign and do everything to honor him. And his funeral was beautiful. We had a lot of baseball people there. As we left, we all cried to take me out to the ball game.
Wow.
He wanted it baseball themed, and that's the way we did it. And that's it was a great celebration of a wonderful man's life. But It just brings you back to earth to realize that it's not guaranteed. Enjoy. If you can play the game, or you can announce the game or manage or work on the field, do it until you can't, because you're going to regret it if you don't.
For sure.
That's right.
So, well, Mike, thank you for sharing those stories and your relationship you had with Gunner. Unfortunately, we're getting thin on legends here, and hopefully we get a wave of individuals that want to be the next ones, but we'll see, I guess. So, no good way to transition out of that. But maybe we'll jump into your District 8 here. I do want to know a little bit more. I know you guys have been going to the state tournament quite a bit. Raymond's always solid, but I want to hear a little bit about the Wilmer Rails, the Wilmer Indians, and Marshall A's.
The old Corn Belt.
Yeah, the old Corn Belt teams and some of the C teams, too. If you got a couple of minutes to talk about the Corn Belt.
Absolutely. So, Butch Steen and I formed the Corn Belt League about 25 years ago, and we originally had it set around Wilmer. You had to be within a half hour of Wilmer, so we would get daily paper coverage. Well, now the paper's online, and I don't like that, and so our league is spread out. But no, Raymond is always solid. They are so competitive. I call them the Buffalo Bills of amateur baseball. Nobody circles the wagons like the Rockets. We've had forks in them in the regions, and Mike Jesuits and the boys will find a way to win 4 games straight to get back into the tournament. And I have the utmost respect. Tyler Steen is one of the best amateur players I have ever seen in 40 years of being around the game. Classy, such a great individual and person, and on and off the field. But the Wilmer Rails, they got a new manager this year. Gunner Banks has taken over, and he knows a lot of these young Wilmer kids, and there's a reason that the Raymonds and the Spicers and the Atwaters of the world have had a little bit of success. Not so much Atwater, but a lot of those Wilmer kids were going other places. And I think Gunner is going to start to say, boys, this is Wilmer, Minnesota. We have a big town. Yeah, keep the talent in your town.
That's right.
And they should. They should be the best team in our league every year. They're a giant of a school compared to everyone else, and they have tons of talent that comes out of there. Tom DeBoer and Tyler Steen, and I think one of the Jake Rambos do a great job coaching that program, and they have tons of talent that come out every year. They're always usually very good. I love playing the Wilmer Indians.
Oh, yeah.
Gene Carlos Morales, their team is totally Hispanic. They don't speak English on the field. When you go to their park, the announcing is in Spanish. They bring in a Spanish food truck, and their fans are absolutely livid. They're
Yes. Yeah, they're great.
It is like going to soccer in Mexico, and these people are crazy, and it's so fun. Their players play the game the way you should. They're a new team. They're not the best team, but they're good. They go to WIG, the Wilmer Indoor Golf, and they're there 4 nights a week hitting baseballs. Those kids love baseball, and they're going to surprise some teams. They're going to start to win a lot more games, and they're going to end up putting together a really cool, fun program. And we have a lot of Hispanic population in our area, the Renville Sacred area in Wilmer, and a lot of these kids do not play any high school sports.
Right.
And this coach is, I think, bridging the gap to go ahead and bring a lot of these Hispanic kids back into, hey, you need to play high school baseball. You need to get involved, and they should. it would be very good for our area. So they're going to be up and coming. Marshall, another town that has great high school sports. They have a very solid team, and they're going to do just fine in our section. We had a couple teams, Fairmont and Laverne dropped down to C. New Ulm got bumped to A. So it's our section is or our district is basically going to be the 5 B teams in the Corn Belt this year. But I think this 3-class system, there's going to be a few years of the waves going up and down until it kind of the smoke clears. And I think we'll have most of those teams back in our district. And, it's anybody's game. I mean, obviously I think we're the favorite, but we lost Aiden Elfring. He's playing in association ball for the Kalispell Rough Riders. Love you.
Montana?
Yep. Yeah, up by Glacier Park.
Yeah.
So you should see the fields there. They play basically in the mountain states.
So say the backdrop.
There's got to be some home runs hit there. I bet.
If you sit at the right spot, you might see Darwin Hill from Litchfield. But I don't think you probably wouldn't miss the mountains if you were in Kalispell.
No, if you miss the mountains, your name's Stevie Wonder.
That's great. So your roster. I mean, yeah, like you said, that's a hell of a player that's going to be out this summer. But
yeah, he carried us a lot last year. I mean, he pitched really well. If the state board would have done a better job of scheduling, he could have. He had to pitch on a Sunday night and then pitch on Friday, and he normally has another day rest. And Jordan Sagadol, I mean, I'll take him as a number 2 any day of the week. And you know what? Hutch just kept slapping the ball around, and they put it in play. I thought when we scored in the 10th, we were going to get a shot at the state champs, but the baseball gods, they said differently.
Yeah.
So that's the way it went.
Wow.
But we'll be fine. Our team will be good. We've got a couple of guys, new guys. We got a kid from the Sauk Center team, Derek Holm. He actually married James Wolfel, our catcher's sister, and they moved down between Hutch and here, so he's going to play with us. My son-in-law, he and my daughter moved back from the cities. They live in Olivia, and he's played with us in the past, and he happened to pitch for the Atlanta Braves for a few years. So he's a lefty that throws really hard, and he hasn't played for a while, so we're going to have him back. So I don't think anyone's going to feel too sorry for Bird Island.
I don't think they do. No. Hey, we just want to say this too, because it's fun to kind of connect to like more recent history. We had Johnny early on as a guest last year, and of course we had to talk about the was it the 21 inning game?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And obviously
you guys are no strangers to.
You were on the other end of you were on the winning end of that. Do you have any story? Like, is there one story you could handpick out of that game that you could just to give us a little, I don't know, reminisce about that?
Yep. 2 things. So we got Josh Kingery on our team that we drafted, and he started the game. And his dad, Mike, and I have been friends since their Legion team kicked our Legion team when I was a 9th grader and he was a senior, and I sat there with pie eyes going, I don't want to go on this field, Coach. I can't play. I mean, the Atwaters team with Mark Nye and there's a Jabe Munson and Brian Hovey. They were amazing for a tiny town. But anyway, I'd look up at him every inning and go, he needs to stop, and Mike would go, he's fine. And then he obviously gave up a home run to Corey Koski during the game, and I'm like, I told you he's a good player. Yes, he's 45 or 50 years old, but he can turn on a fastball yet. So he did. So Josh gave up a home run to him. So that was kind of cool. Probably my best memory was after the game. I bought a 6-pack of beer. It was Sunday night. I sat in the third row at Dundas, and everyone left. Mike Ludwig was the only one left, and I sat there, and I just sipped down those beers and listened to the river. And it was probably, I was there for 3 hours, and I just sat there from 2 to 5 a.m. all by myself.
Ludwig was probably getting the field ready for the next day right after.
If you know Ludwig, if you so much as look at his grass the wrong way, he just has a panic attack.
He does such a good job with that field.
Isn't he amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, there. You want to talk legend? That guy, he's as good as it gets at third base. I mean, he's so silky smooth and can hit, and then he takes care of their field. The guy's I don't know how he does it. He's a mountain. He's a great baseball guy.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing that story with us. We always like to connect, and we talk about a former guest with Johnny Early, and it's just fun to have everyone's connected in one way or another. There's just no doubt about it.
Johnny Early, his cousin was the best athlete I ever played with.
Terry. Wait.
No. That's you got to get
different generation there.
Preston Early should have been a professional baseball player, but back in the day, they had a big dairy farm. He could only play one sport. So his dad let him play basketball. And this kid was in high school, he was my best friend. And his senior year, his dad says, fine, you can play whatever you want. So he goes out for baseball. He's never played baseball in his life. And he led our team in hitting and played center field. He should have been playing outfield in the major leagues, but he went to Gustavus as a 6'1" forward, and I'm like, dude, you're just stupid. Go play baseball. You are so talented. But he loved basketball, and that's what he did. But so John Early's best athlete in the early tree. No, not Terry, even though Terry will tell you it was him.
Yeah.
It is Preston Euerle.
Yeah,
Early.
That's right, the Early family. And there are a lot of them. They run deep in the Meeker County area for sure. But
great family.
Great family for sure. I think we'll probably start wrapping our interview up. I mean, you've given us so many good stories tonight and some insight into the Class B districts you've got going down there, and obviously Bird Island, and then some state board stuff. Hayes, did you have anything else you wanted to dig into here?
Nope. Appreciate the time, and let me know when you guys are getting together to talk the state tournament bid, and if you need something out of us, you know where to call.
Dude, you're just an automatic. I mean, we're just like, do what you do, and you'll be good. We'll talk to you probably about Thursday before. No, I'm kidding. No, we're actually meeting on the 15th of April, but I don't think you're going to be driving to Morgan, Minnesota to the Dot Bar, or the Spot Bar. So, but we're going to touch base a lot. Are you guys in the Jordan tournament again?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we'll be down there.
Who's your first game? Who do you got?
Cortland on Friday.
Yeah, we get to play. I think the fighting. What do we get? We get Class A. We got Irish.
Stockman's. You got Stockman's. Yep.
Irish. Yeah. That'll be a good challenge for our country boys. No, that'll be fun. So I can't wait. That's a great tournament. Anyone who wants to have great people take great care of them, the Jordan boys, you will not. We have a golf tournament too. Hayes, you got to join it. We play on Friday before it.
Haven't been golfing a day in my life, and I'm start now.
Bring your wallet. You can come and play.
Yep.
So, all right, Mike. Thanks for the time, buddy. Have a good night.
Hey, I just got to say, this is the best podcast. It's what you guys do for amateur baseball. The state board loves you guys. Keep it up. I hope you never quit. It's so fun to listen to. I appreciate you all.
We appreciate that.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Have a good one.
All right. Hey, take care. Bye.
Take care.
You too.
Peace. And that was our Max Bat interview with Doc Nagel. Fun interview. I mean, Doc, he doesn't like to talk. He's a pretty shy guy.
We had to really coax him into
pull the words out of him.
No, he had some great stories.
He had a field work day.
Yep.
And immediately a little post work day celebration, couple
That's
drinks,
awesome.
pizza. You know, if you're in that Bold area, that Bird Island area, you know how much they enjoy their ball down there. And the Bird Island Bullfrogs is a great spot, great team, great field. They do it right, and had a lot of fun with that. So
I would say just one last time would also want to give our condolences to Jim Gunner Flan, longtime Bird Island baseball guy, did it all for them. Give our condolences to all of the Bird Island family there.
Yeah, 100%. He just obviously, I think Doc said it right. Like, there are people that you meet, if you're in ball long enough, if you're in Townball, there's going to be people along the journey that just mean a ton to you. He said he was a brother to him. So, obviously they're dealing with the loss down there, and they're trying to fill shoes that probably cannot be filled, and that's just a tough going forward for them. But that's all they can do is go forward, and a heck of a ball team down there. You said, Doc, since, what did he say, 54 games they had a losing streak?
56.
Their first 3 years.
That's an incredible. I mean, I can't imagine.
I remember a team that was kind of defunct, and then they tried to put a team back together, and they were going to state board meetings and trying to figure out what league they were in, and they were kind of hemming and hawing because they really wanted to kind of load up on a lot of college players, and they were kind of like, we don't really have a lot of pitching if we have to do this and this and this. And I remember Nagel goes, we lost 56 games in a row when I first started with Bird Island. I don't effing feel bad for you.
He's got that in his back pocket at every moment.
And it's nobody's going to feel bad for you if you start a team and you don't win every game.
Right. It's that is just how it goes sometimes. When you start up out of, especially in a community like that, you can't pull from a ton of, it's one school district, small towns, and they've found a way. So it's fun to listen to Doc, especially, he has got stories and stories. It's fun having him on. So good luck to the Bullfrogs this year, and we kind of move on. We talked in our interview about state bids. The Bullfrogs, they are going to be submitting their bid. They said they're going to be partnering up with some groups, some really good groups. Springfield, you've got Sleepy Eye, and then you've got Bird Island there. So fourth site, Delano as well. But Hayes, you wanted to kind of go through maybe some information like recently with the state bids?
Yeah, so November 2026, all these groups that put in a bid, they're going to have to give their presentation to the state board, and it sounds like they're going to pick sites for 2029 and 2030, potentially 2031. I don't think they want to go too far down the road. Again, they are encouraging more sites or sites who haven't hosted in a long time to, get their ducks in a row and host, because we've gone from 2 sites to 2 with a third to 3 with a fourth, and that's kind of where we're at now. So, and you start getting the same 12 sites, that's only a couple year cycle, and then you're starting over again. So, at our last Crow River Valley League meeting, Jason Kirshner out of Cologne did kind of give us a rundown that there are 5 total bids for the 29 and 30. And like we talked with Mike, Bird Island, Sleepy Eye, Springfield, and Delano agreed to be their 4th site if they were to get it. And again, kind of running along that lines of, and I hope they really do put this as their slogan. That was the term I was looking for.
Right.
The Tournament of Decades. And 2000 with Sleepy Eye, 2010 Bird Island, and 2020 with Springfield. Use that slogan. It's catchy.
is cool.
So,
It is cool.
You know us. We're gimmick guys.
We love a
so.
shtick.
The other bid, and they had this back in 2021, was Waconia Chaska Hamburg. They did a phenomenal job.
Right.
And then they are grabbing Watertown as a foresight. Watertown getting their name in the mix. That's amazing to see. Then going back to all the way back to the 90s, Marshall and Granite Falls hosted back in 99. They are back in the mix, grabbing Milroy. I apologize. I didn't confirm which Milroy, but I'm guessing it's the Yankees since they helped or hosted with Springfield back in 2020. And then they grabbed Bird Island as their foresight. So a couple different opportunities maybe for Bird Island to get some games. So Marshall, Granite Falls, Milroy, and Bird Island.
Nice Southwest representation.
Let's go. I love it. Then we have Old Reliable, Belle Plaine, Jordan, Green Isle, who hosted in 2024 and then back in 2017. Jumped in with the Jordan Belle Plaine group who's co-hosted many times. They actually have not designated a foresight yet. So it'll be interesting to see who they grab, but they're in a great area. A lot of places to choose from. Hopefully somebody new. That's just my personal opinion.
Right.
And then some people we know pretty well: Dassel, Delano, Litchfield.
What?
And we had worked it out with Watertown as Watertown to be our foresight too. So those 5 groups are going to be putting their presentations together, bidding for the 29 and 2030 state tournaments. So be kind of interesting to see. I'm not even going to say my opinion.
Well, I mean, it's like you almost have to.
I think
take a step back. We're a part of it, and I think the state with what is put on the table right there, with the teams that you just said, a lot of you've got some established, you've got some that haven't done it for a little bit, but they've been known. I think the state board can trust in every one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. If you want to be a part of you want to be a top 3 site, no better time to try to hitch your wagon as that foresight. I would say that's my information. That's my advice to kind of break through. Watertown right now, what are they? They're the 4th site in 2 of those bids.
Yeah.
Right. So a team that wants to break through and eventually be a normal, every, you talk about that rotation. 5 to 8 years, every 5 to 8 years, if you're hosting a state tournament, you're doing doing great. You're doing awesome. And breaking through as that foresight, I think that's been kind of a blessing for a lot of these teams lately is the opportunity they get to take on some games at the state level without kind of overloading their volunteer group or, people that haven't quite gotten experience at that level.
Yeah, you get acclimated to what it's like to be a host in a state tournament, and you find out that you got to volunteer and put your time in, but it's a ton of fun. Being a state tournament host is one of the most fun things you can do, and if you are a group out there or a team that wants to get involved, like John said, find one of these groups that have been established, kind of hitch your wagon to them, and then create your own path for that. I think it's wild that we're talking about 2029, 2030 state tournaments. It feels like...
Yeah, but it kind of makes me excited. I really do want to see one of them go out west or southwest. My opinion would be they probably grab one of the 3 that have hosted recently and then give some love to places that haven't hosted in a long time.
Right.
So, and kind of as I get older, it's I like the drive.
Yeah.
And it was great last year. You could bounce back and forth to the couple of sites. But 3-4 years, I'm going to be in my 40s. I think I want that couple hour drive and just. And then when I'm there, I got to just be there all day because I'm not going to turn around.
Oh man, I have to be here.
To
Oh,
watch 4 baseball games on a
shoot,
Saturday?
God, I
Yeah,
hope
you're
I don't
committed.
have to take part in 4 baseball games.
I love the idea of just getting out and seeing a new ballpark, but like the prep that goes into hosting, like you're going to see the polished versions of these ballparks. You're going to see them in their best shape. You're going to see their infield surfaces are going to be pristine. They're going to, the fan experience has like gotten so incredibly good the last couple of years.
It's really
This would be if we could go out way further out west. We always joke about doing something on site or at this game or that game or go to this Fox 9 game or go to Dan's down in New Trier. But this would be where it's like, all right, we're going down to Granite Falls.
yeah.
We're gonna stay at the casino overnight.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
hate
then-
to have to do that.
And then,
Speaking my
but no,
language.
this group in this room, we could go like that would be like this. I look
Agreed.
at this as like, if the podcast is still going on, if we still have stuff to talk about in 2029,
We're still alive.
like
yeah.
we're gonna take. Then we take the show on the road.
100%.
For sure.
We'd have no excuse.
Yeah, and we're just all right, man. And then you get together in the casino at 2 a.m. and do a recap of all the games.
Jeez, you're
That
getting
would
me
be fun.
excited. I'm
That would
getting
be fun,
goosebumps
so.
right now thinking about it. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Just a fun thing to think about the future, where we're headed. Townball. There's just so many good potential sites, and I think that even the teams you don't hear mentioned, I think that you're gonna in the next 10 to 15 years hear a lot of new names come out of the fold, because there are just a lot of excited people out there that are doing great things at their ballpark. I mean, look at where baseball was 15, 20 years ago. There's so many teams that have come out of the fold. I mean, even just Litch. I look at our town in Litchfield, like we just didn't quite have the means to do what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
It took 5-10 years of just like really concentrated work to finally break through. We were a third site, 10 years ago, and now we're kind of a regular groove where we want to host more tournaments. So it's a lot of things can change. I'm excited for the future there. So yeah, I think we've covered it from the side of our bids. Hayes, are we going to jump into our Brian Rock Field of the Week?
time. It's time for the Brian Rock Field of the episode. We are going to take a drive up County Road 8 until we hit the intersection of County Road 8 and County Road 48
Okay.
in the town of Marty, Minnesota. But as many from the area they just call it Pearl Lake.
Yeah.
Because that's the name of the lake. And you know what? The town team goes by Pearl Lake. They don't go by Marty. So we are going to go to Martin Schmidt Memorial Ballpark in Marty. And why did I say the crossroads? Because there's no fence in Marty. They don't believe in fences.
What?
I'll see you at the crossroads.
Yep, see you at the crossroads. Absolutely. You got to hit the ball over the road for a home run. And if it skips across the road, I think you get a double, maybe a triple.
Does it? If it lands on the shoulder, it's a home run type thing. You got to talk. I have never played there. I think the ground rules would be so fun to just sit and listen to.
You know who has played there? Waverly.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably multiple times.
Of course. So they know the ground
In
rules.
April
Yeah.
or March. So Martin Schmidt Memorial Park, built in the 1950s, seating capacity around 300. Play about 25 games a year there. Here's the dimensions. Like I said, to the road, down the left field line,
Infinity.
305. Left center power alley, 345. Dead center to meet at the corner. 405 to the right center power alley is 360. And you dang lefties, Jordan Flick, 295 down the right field line.
295. Let me get one in the air. Let's go.
Yep.
Imagine
So
just a group of bikers one day coming by, and you're just you park one, and you end up just smoking someone on
You
the
create a
roadway.
gang war with a biker gang.
So in 97, when we were hosting a state tournament, our field's right along River Street, and a biker did wear a foul ball right on the top of the head. So, I think he later came to a couple games. He was like, I obviously I needed to stop and just go watch the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Pearl Lake. So it's funny. The reason I kind of dug into this one is I have a coworker who is from the Watkins area, and he always talks about different places up near Watkins. He likes a hot spot in Kimball he goes to a meat. I think it's a meat market, but
SOBs probably.
probably yeah. So he's and then I kind of brought up the Marty Pearl Lake, and he's like talking about the Pearl Lake Lodge. So you guys will love this.
I can't wait.
We're ready.
All right, the Pearl Lake Lodge. This bar and restaurant, located 1 block from the field, has a large outside deck and a busy year-round, as the scenic Pearl Lake area is a popular destination. The lodge holds Stearns County's largest St. Patrick's Day celebration. That's not why you need to get excited. When up to 10,000 people descend on this town of 20 to view over 140 participating units. I do need to mention the population of Marty is 20.
20.
Just 20.
2-0.
Is it the team? Like
Just 2-0. So, all right. Back to the Pearl Lake Lodge. Lodge owner Tom Rudy Reuter, or Ruther, I hope I didn't butcher it, calls it the parade so nice you see it twice. Because when the parade reaches the end of the 4-block route, it turns around and comes back.
yes.
Still not the best part. The bar's weekly Wednesday lunch special is an all-you-can-eat bologna buffet with all the fixings.
Fixins, let's go.
You talk about fixins on a bologna sandwich? I didn't know there was a lot of fixins on a bologna sandwich.
Oh, so many fixins.
Martin Schmidt Memorial Ballpark, Marty, Minnesota. Your Brian Rock field of the episode.
Unbelievable.
We gotta go. We gotta see this parade.
We got to get some bologna. We got to see the parade. It just sounds
We gotta
like
see
a
it
blast.
twice.
It's awesome. That's so great. The field itself is unique. Obviously, the town has got to be unique too. That is our Brian Rock Field of the Week. So, awesome episode this week. Had a lot of fun. Our season's about to start. High school ball's rolling. But what do you say, 4 days?
4 days from now, there will be Townball played, and we're excited.
All is right in the world. So, go out, go see a game. If you're not playing, go out, support another community. Have a good time, and let's have a great year. With that being said, we will see you in a couple weeks. Have a good one.
Under